Heard it on the news today. 183 shopping days left till Christmas. Don't mean nothing to me. I don't believe in Santa Claus. Christmas is not my holiday. I don't celebrate Christmas. I don't celebrate any public works holidays, not Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, Easter, Halloween, Valentine's, April Fools, the 4th day of July, not Labor Day, Arbor Day, Memorial Day, Flag Day, none of the president's birthdays. Not Mother's Day or Father's Day. Not St. Patrick's or St. Mary's or St. Pete's. Not May Day, Dog Day, Groundhog Day, or Sadie Hawkins Day. Not Advent, Pentecost, Good Friday, Ash Wednesday, or Fat Tuesday. Not the Feast of the Assumption, the Annunciation, the Apocalypse, or the Aurora Borealis. Not Passover, Hanukkah, Rosh Hashanah, Candlemas Communion, Holy Incarnation, Transubstantiation, or the Ides of March. Rupert's birthday is my holiday. Rupert was born on the same night as my brother Orville. I named him Rupert from a sign I saw in the barber shop. Prince Rupert, distinguished looking. Now Rupert outweighed Orville at birth by about 60 pounds. Orville was the baby with 7 girls and then Orville. 7 girls, Francine, who was supposed to have been a boy, Sheila Lee, who wasn't, Louisa May, that's me, April, born on December 26th, and the triplets, Faith, Hope, and Charity. And then Orville, Daddy said he almost named him Despair. Faith, Hope, Charity, and Despair. See, 7 girls, 17, 15, 13, that's me, 9, 5, 5, and 5, and Mama thought she was through, and then Orville. Orville came out backwards, been that way ever since. Miranda was my baby, that's what Daddy always said. She was born on my 11th birthday, and 2 years later she gave birth to Rupert. Early that morning, Daddy had driven down to East Tennessee to look at some farm equipment and wasn't due back till the next day. I wanted to go with him, but he convinced me somebody had to stay behind and look after the stock. I was always the best with the animals, still am. Sheila Lee never cared about them. Francine made me all nervous. April tried to help me sometimes, but she just couldn't concentrate. And of course the triplets were too little to do anything but get underfoot. Mama started labor while she was cooking supper. She wasn't worried, she'd been through it all before, but we'd all been small babies. Orville weighed 12 pounds and 8 ounces and came out backwards. Our neighbor, Miss Price, who had been midwife for the triplets, she came over to help out, but when she saw what was happening, she called Mr. Price to come in the station wagon and drive Mama the 14 miles into town to the hospital. Francine went with them. Sheila Lee was having spasms, being so excited, and finally passed out on the living room couch, and I just threw a quilt on her and let her be. I read a story to April and the girls, and they went right off to sleep. But I was wide awake, and so I walked outside. And I stood in the middle of the front yard. I looked up at the moon and I said, Mr. Moon, you take care of our mama. We need her around here. And then I looked again and I said, please, Mr. Moon, we really need her. And I listened, but the moon didn't answer. What I heard was an old hen squawking as she fell off the roost, the creak of the front porch swing, some coon dogs barking somewhere off in the woods, and Miranda mooing. She was standing in a pool of moonlight, looking very regal and very pregnant. She was due in June, or so we thought. She mooed again and turned and walked toward the barn. "You smart aleck," I thought. "You got no business in there." Somebody, me, probably had forgot to latch the gate. I started across the yard to go get her, and all of a sudden my head got light, my knees gave out, and I just fainted. When I came to, I was lying on my back in the front yard, looking up at that moon. I felt like I was floating. And then I saw the blood. I had started my first period. I looked at that dark stain in the center of my clean white nightgown, and I thought about Mama lying on a clean white sheet with a child struggling to come out of the center of her body. Mama and I are both bleeding tonight, I thought. I'm helping Mama birth that baby. And then I heard Miranda groan again like she was in labor. Miranda's helping Mama too, was my first thought. Next thought was, no, that's not possible. She is not due till June. So I primed the pump, filled a basin with some cold water from the well, washed the blood from myself and my nightgown, and hung my nightgown in the branches of the white ash tree. And there I stood, shivering with chill bumps and looking in some wonder at my new body. This is a woman's body now, I thought. The blood that has flowed from me tonight has united me for all time with every woman that ever walked the earth. And you've seen it all, Mr. Moon. And then I heard Miranda again. She can't be in labor. She is not due till June. Well, so barefoot and jaybird naked, I tiptoed across the white gravel driveway and stood by the barn door. Miranda was standing in a small lot in back of the barn where she'd been born 2 years before, my baby, Miranda. Well, what about it? I said. She looked at me, swished her tail, bobbed her head up and down, and turned around so I could see her backside. And there, glistening in the moonlight, were two little feet sticking out about 3 inches from her swollen vulva. Crying out loud, Miranda, you can't be having that baby now. You're not due till June. Or so we thought. Now she arched her back in a contraction that pushed the calf's feet out of her body clear up to its knees. Well, they were front feet. That was good. At least this calf was going to come out frontwards, unlike dumb Orville, who was trying to come out backside first. Oh, my God. Mama. I forgot all about Mama, but I can't do anything about Mama, but I can do something about this. I climbed up in the loft, threw down the brightest bale of straw I could find, and spread it out in the corner out of the draft. She walked over to it, gave a sniff or two, lay down, and commenced to have another huge contraction. The calf's nose already appeared. I thought, oh, what if I have to pull it? Now, I'd seen calves come before, and once or twice I'd seen Daddy pull them when the cow was having trouble. In my mind's eye, I could see his strong hands and arms grasp the slippery legs of the calf and pull out and down in rhythm with the cow's contractions until the head and shoulders were through the narrow opening of the cervix. I looked at my own small hands and I thought, well, these are no good, but push comes to shove, I'll try, I'll have to. I'm the one that's here. I watched her close for about an hour, stay right by her side. She'd get up and walk around for a while, and then she'd lay back down and have another series of contractions. But every time she'd get the calf's head in place, she'd have to stop and rest. And when she stopped, the cow would slip back inside her womb. Now, cows are real strong, but if the birthing muscles can get too tired to push, and if the cow doesn't push strong enough and the cervix let the calf through in time, then the calf would slip back inside her womb, and the calf would die inside her womb. And eventually the cow would die too. I was just beginning to think, I'm really going to have to do something. And Miranda turned and looked at me as if to say, come on, you dummy, I need help. What are you waiting on, Christmas? Well, I got a couple of burlap feed sacks. And the next time she lay down, I got up real close behind her, coiled up like a spring, with my bare feet flush against the muscles of her back legs. I wrapped a feed sack around each of the calf's front legs, tied them on with double strands of baling twine. Then I looped the strands of twines together between the legs with just enough room for my two hands to grab a hold of. I got a firm hold, and I waited. And when Miranda pushed, I pulled. I pulled for all I was worth. But every time she'd get the calf's head in place, she'd have to stop and rest. And every time she stopped pushing, the calf would slip back inside her womb. Come on, Miranda, you can do it. Come on, Miranda. And after a while, I was dripping with sweat, and every muscle in my body felt like it was on fire. It's now or never, Miranda, you hear? I ain't got much more strength left in me. Miranda pushed, and I pulled. I held my breath and pulled with all my might. I stretched my body taut like a bowstring. Come on, Miranda. And just as I thought I was going to explode, Miranda did a great push, and out sloshed the calf, stood right up my naked body, and came to rest with its head laying in my lap. The body and back legs were still inside Miranda. Umbilical still attached. Half inside Miranda and half laying on top of me. I looked at that calf's head laying there wet between my legs, not yet quite alive. Nose still full of birth, eyes dull and lifeless, and as I was looking in the calf's eye, Miranda stood up. And as she stood, the rest of the calf's body slipped out, and the umbilical broke. And as the umbilical broke, a light switched on in that calf's eye. I saw it. It came to life. Life came to it. It became itself. It became conscious. It saw. And the first thing it saw was me. Me looking right in at it. I saw the first flash of life come into that calf's eye. I saw it switch on like a light in a dark room. It was a bull calf, dark red with a white star on his forehead. Big framey calf, distinguished looking. Well, I stayed there with Miranda and her calf until she coaxed him up on all four wobbly legs, helped him find the udder, and he had sucked the first rich colostrum milk and was ready for a nap. So I got some soap and a towel and went swimming in the pond. Floating on my back in the deep water, I looked up at the moon and I said, "Everything's okay on this end, Mr. Moon. I just hope you're taking care of Mama." Well, the moon did the best he could. What happened was, Doc Fisher had to cut Mama's stomach open with a knife and reach in and pull Orville out by the ears, 12 pounds and 8 ounces, and came out backward. Mama was wore out for a while. Orville was fine. May 16th, Mama had Orville with no help from him. Miranda had Rupert with a little help from me. May 16, I turned 13. Oh. My daddy brought me this handmade dolly from East Tennessee for my birthday. And I was happy to get it, but I had to think to myself, here I am a woman now. What am I going to do with this dolly? Mom and Daddy have long since passed away. My sisters are all scattered to the winds. Some married, some not, some with children, some not. They all write and come to visit on holidays. Orville runs a gas station in town. He comes out sometimes and we talk. May 16th, Rupert's birthday. Daddy and I load Rupert in the truck and take him into town to be slaughtered for meat. I didn't cry. I rode in the back with Rupert, held his big old head in my arms and thought, 1 year ago today, his head was so small it could fit between my legs. At the slaughterhouse, I made Daddy and the butcher be real quiet while I stood in the killing chute with Rupert and rubbed his belly, patted his neck until he relaxed, lifted up his head and looked me in the eye. And then when he was calm and happy, I nodded at the butcher and he shot him in the back of the head. Shot him clean. He died instantly. I was looking right in Rupert's eye when the gun went off and I saw the light go out in his eye. I saw it switch on when he was born and I saw it go out when he was killed. I was 14. Sisters all think I'm crazy. Don't send Christmas or Easter cards. I don't know when any of their children were born. I don't go to church. Not scared of dying. Not tired of living. I live alone here on the old home place, and days of celebration in other people's lives mean little or nothing to me. Orville understands, big dummy that he is. Orville understands. I do not celebrate public works holidays. Not Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, Halloween, Valentine's, April Fools, or the 4th day of July. Not Labor Day, Arbor Day, Memorial Day, Flag Day, and none of the president's birthdays. Not Mother's Day or Father's Day. Not St. Patrick's, St. Mary's, St. Michael's, or St. Pete's. Not May Day, Dog Day, Groundhog Day, or Sadie Hawkins Day. Not Advent, Pentecost, Good Friday, Ash Wednesday, or Fat Tuesday. Not the Feast of the Ascension, the Assumption, the Annunciation, the Apocalypse, or the Borealis. Not Passover, Hanukkah, Rosh Hashanah, Candlemas, Communion, Holy Incarnation, Transubstantiation, and the Ides of March. Rupert's birthday is my holiday.